Hello there, you're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for the quarter-hour news at 5. Let's begin with our top stories. In a significant move, Sarawak is embarking on a carbon trading mission that is said to be on par with similar endeavours undertaken by European countries. Premier Sarawak Dato' Peninggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, who is currently on a week-long official visit to Norway, has announced that the Sarawak government is delving into international protocols concerning carbon trading. The effort involves engaging with key players within the European carbon trading industry.
In London, I've been meeting chefs. We can collaborate with the oil company as far as the development of CCS is concerned. And what is important is at the moment there is no clear protocol in terms of how you export or import carbon, store carbon in our territory.
He told this to reporters during the official Sarawak government delegation's visit to Bergen, Norway on Wednesday.
Premier Sarawak Dato' Peninggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg announced that the state government will be examining effective methods of imposing tax on carbon emissions, following the United Nations footsteps in listing carbon as one of the commodities.
I think the United Nations has categorized carbon as a commodity. If that is the case, then it's just like any commodity that we trade. How carbon is treated and become a commodity for trading. So the next thing for any government, we are exploring how to tax them.
Abang Johari said this during a dinner event hosted by Petroleum Sarawak Berhad Petras in Bergen, Norway. He added that his trip to Norway has yielded comprehensive insights into the intricacies of carbon management as a tradable commodity. As part of his journey, he conducted technical tours of notable facilities, including the Carbon Capture and Storage CCS Northern Lights and the Technology Centre Mongstad. The tours were aimed at acquiring a comprehensive understanding of the infrastructure and technologies employed by key players in the CCS industry within the country.
The King of the River, or the winner of the upcoming Simun Jan Regatta, held in conjunction with Simun Jan Festival, will bring home 20,000 ringgit. Simun Jan Assemblyman Aula Driss said the festival will take place from September 17 to 24th.
According to Aula, the much-anticipated activities during the festival will include the Perahu Balok race to be held on the last 3 days of the Simun Jan Festival. Apart from that, he said other exciting competitions will also be held, such as the legendary cake and baked rice making competition, Sayang Simun Jan video competition, Simun Jan futsal and esports tournaments, and many more. The festival will also be enlivened with the presence of high-powered motorcycle enthusiasts who will be spending their nights in Simun Jan.
Police are on the hunt for a 20-year-old man to assist in the investigation of a violent armed assault incident involving machetes and hockey stick. The incident resulted in severe injuries to a man in his 30s at a location in Matang in the early hours of August 21st. Padawan District Police Chief Deputy Superintendent of Police Lim Jiao Xiong said the individual in question is identified as Muhammad Aiman Yusri from Kampong Semarah Padi in Semariang.
Public who would tip off regarding the individual in question can come forward to the police to facilitate in the investigation. Information can be directed to the head of the Criminal Investigation Division at the Padawan District Police Headquarters, Assistant Superintendent of Police Silverius, or Inspector Nyawam Ringkai at the contact numbers shown. Previously, Padawan Police successfully apprehended 5 local men, aged between 20 and 45 years old, believed to be connected to the incident. According to Lim, all suspects were apprehended following a report received by his team around 1:16 p.m. on the same day of the incident.
A human resource supervisor became the latest victim of a financial scam, losing 980,000 ringgit in the process. The incident occurred on July 18 when the victim, in his late 40s, received a WhatsApp message from an unknown number claiming to be a Bitcoin investment agent. Sarawak Police Commissioner Datuk Muhammad Asman Ahmad Sapri said that the victim, intrigued by potential returns, began engaging in conversations with the scammer.
Lured by the promised returns of between 20 to 50%, the victim was provided a Telegram link and a username for investment website. Consumed by the profit, the victim then transferred a total of 980,000 ringgit to 34 different bank accounts between July and August. However, the victim only realized that he was scammed after he did not receive any returns from the investment. The victim then lodged a report to the police under Section 420 of the Penal Code for cheating. In advising the public, the police commissioner said the public is urged to invest only through registered platforms recognized by Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM) and seek advice from legitimate financial agents. He also urged the public to exercise extreme caution when encountering unfamiliar links or downloadable files to avoid potential scams.
Welcome back. The Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia SPM 2023 examination is scheduled to take place from December 5th this year until March 7, 2024. In a move, the Ministry of Education said this will be in line to its plan to gradually return the start of school sessions to the original, which will be scheduled on January. In a post on Facebook, MOE said the science practical tests will be held from December 5th to 7, followed by the Bahasa Melayu oral test from January 8 to 11. Meanwhile, the English language oral test from January 17 to 23rd next year. The listening test for Malay and English languages will take place on the 29th of January, followed by the written examinations scheduled from the 30th of January to the 7th of March. A stunning parachute performance that will grace the skies of Putrajaya is set to become the highlight of this year's Merdeka Day celebration. Federal Minister of Communications and Digital Fahmi Fadzil said the exhilarating aerial act will be presented by members of the Royal Malaysia Police VAT 69 Commander Unit.
He further revealed that all preparations for the upcoming Merdeka Day celebration, Team Malaysia Madani Tekad Perpaduan Penuhi Harapan, are going smoothly at Dataran Putrajaya. As such, he advised the public to arrive early to avoid congestion, as feeder buses will be provided from train stations and other locations. For further information, the public can head on to the website as shown.
Moving on to international affairs. Japan on Thursday started releasing treated radioactive water from the damaged Fukushima nuclear power plant into the Pacific Ocean, a dividing move that drew fierce criticism from China as being selfish and irresponsible. The discharge is a key step in a dauntingly long and difficult process of decommissioning the Fukushima Daiichi plant, including the removal of molten fuel after it was destroyed by a tsunami 12 years ago.
The discharge was approved 2 years ago by the Japanese government and green-lighted by the United Nations nuclear watchdog last month. Plant operator Tokyo Electric Power TEPCO said the release began at 1:03 p.m. local time and it had not identified any abnormalities with the seawater pump or surrounding facilities, adding that it would halt operations immediately if any issues arise. Japan has maintained that the water release is safe. However, China reiterated on Thursday its firm opposition to the plan and said the Japanese government had not proved the legitimacy of the water discharge. With around 1,000 steel containers holding the water, TEPCO said it needs to clear space for the removal of the highly dangerous radioactive nuclear fuel and rubble from the wrecked reactors. 3 of the reactors at the Fukushima Daiichi facility in the northeastern Japan went into meltdown following a massive earthquake and tsunami that killed around 18,000 people in 2011. Since then, TEPCO has collected 1.34 million cubic meters of contaminated water as it cooled the wrecked reactors. TEPCO will carry out 4 releases of the treated water from Thursday up until March 2024. The first discharge will take about 17 days.
Following the planned water release on Thursday, dozens of protesters gathered outside Tokyo Electric Power Company's headquarters in Tokyo, hours before it released the treated radioactive water into the Pacific Ocean. Elsewhere, in the neighboring Hong Kong and South Korea, protesters gathered at the Japanese embassy to protest against the release of radioactive water from the wrecked Fukushima nuclear plant.
The demonstration in Tokyo lasted about an hour, with protesters chanting slogans and demanding that TEPCO keep its promise of storing the water in tanks.
トリチウムだけが問題ではなくて、他の放射性物質も大量に含まれた水です。これを一度流してしまえば、絶対健康被害が起きる。このことを許すことはできません。
廃炉が完了するまでに2051年までかかると言われているのですが、私はその頃28年後なので、今21歳で2051年には49歳できっと子供もいると思うし、もしかしたらあと数年で孫の顔を見るかもしれないという中で、次世代に渡せる社会を、安心安全な社会を渡すために後悔しない手段を今選びたいなと思います。
Meanwhile, in South Korea, at least 14 college students were arrested after storming the Japanese embassy in Seoul to protest against Tokyo's release of radioactive water from the Fukushima nuclear plant. In a public address, South Korean Prime Minister Han Duck-soo urged Japan to transparently and responsibly disclose information on its wastewater release from the wrecked Fukushima nuclear power plant for the next 30 years.
이제 중요한 것은 일본이 국제사회에 약속한 대로 철저하게 과학적 기준을 지키고 투명하게 정보를 제공하느냐 하는 것입니다. 우리 정부는 오늘 일본 정부에 대해 앞으로 30여 년간 계속될 방류 과정에서도 투명하고 책임감 있게 정보를 공개하기를 기대하고 또 촉구합니다.
Approved 2 years ago by the Japanese government and green-lighted by the United Nations nuclear watchdog last month, the discharge is a key step in a daunting and lengthy process of decommissioning the Fukushima Daiichi plant, including the removal of molten fuel.
I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching.
you.